that you said on that build-up, you came to understand that he actually wanted to ensure that the municipality, and because he was communicating with you, I can directly say that you would make sure that these entities get the award and get the award in the order listed. You said that's how you eventually came to understand he was seeking to convey. You said so when responding to one of Commissioner Baloyi's questions, correct?
Correct, Chair. I
Yes,
said that,
yes,
and that was my
yes,
understanding due to the
yes.
persistent nature of this. It was
Yes.
no longer a case of someone not understanding. There was more to that. But I must also state, Chair, it does...
Please try to be short if questions don't require lengthy explanations, and this one did not. Thank you. Now, that's the understanding you had come to have. And let's look at your response. Now you have the understanding that, and bear in mind that when we go back, the request was about something you could not do, and you had told him so. He persists. Now it gets to a point where you realize that what he actually wants is that you should do an improper award. You've just said so. Now let's look at your response. You say, thanks Mfowethu, I'm on top of this. Is that the sort of response one could expect from someone who actually realizes that this person wants you to commit corruption, wants you to effect an improper award? Is this the response? Thanks Mfowethu, I am on top of this.
Okay, Chair. So like I was saying in the first place, I need to respond to this, taking into account that he doesn't say that I realized this on my own because of the persistent nature of this individual. At this point, Chair, I am annoyed because I was clear to you that there's nothing I could do, and I must also reiterate for the record, I did not do anything about that. My responses now is equally to try and demonstrate on his misunderstanding. Firstly, he pretends as if, from my view, by the third message, that he just wants me to check compliance, which I've been clear on. You can't check compliance in these matters. So what do I need to do now, Chair? There's two things I could have done. First one I could have done, which would have been the most easiest way to get me out of this conundrum that I'm finding myself in now, would have said, there's nothing I can do, please stop talking about this thing. Easily. Second one, Chair, please, if I can just wrap this up. Because
no, I'm not talking, I just switched my mic on.
See, what's so important, Chair, is that the second thing is that I need to take a decision. This is an individual who is my friend now, and I need to manage that friendship in a delicate manner. So I play along, intentionally. And, Chair, that playing along and me entertaining him assists me, because this is the last time he ever raises this issue. Mind you, this is the 25th of March, 2025. The award is eventually made 9 months down the line, on the 25th of September. Can you imagine, Chair, had I not treated this man in the manner that I did, I would have been constantly bombarded with this issue over and over. Ideally, I could have, and I should have, expressly clear, tell him that I've told you before, just stop it, stop going on about this matter. But in me taking into account that this is also a friend of mine now, I need to treat this matter delicately. And I chose an easier way out for me. And an easier way out for me at this point in time was, I'm going to play along, I'm going to entertain this individual, I'm going to huff and puff so that he thinks I'm able to assist him. And Chair, that helped me because there was no further discussion from then forth on this matter.
I will say this, Mr. Mnisi. You don't come across as a weak person. And the second alternative, which is basically not to challenge him when he is suggesting that you should effect an improper award, shows weakness. And I do not understand why you would not have told your friend that, look, here, my responses on this have been A, B, C, D. I made myself clear on the first occasion on this, but you are not only persisting, but now you are suggesting that I should make an improper award. I will not do that. I do not, subject to what happens down the line, but at this point, I do not believe what you are saying. I want to suggest to you that you were actually cooperating with Sergeant Nkosi. And when the names were given a second time, probably during the telephone calls, you had asked for the names again. And now he's giving you names so that there may be an award, and that award should be in accordance with or rather should be in the sort of priority that is listed on here, on that second last text. And you say, thanks Mfowethu, I'm on top of this. So I suggest to you that you were cooperating with Sergeant Nkosi.
Okay.
Any comment?
Yes, Chairperson, indeed, I do have a comment. Firstly, I didn't want to jump the gun, because me jumping the gun and expressly saying to this guy, you are making me do something wrong, where there's no objective evidence that he's doing that. It's me reading the situation on my own at this stage. So, Chair, it would have been, I think, not smart for me to start conflict where there's no conflict. The onus is on him on this point. The onus is on him to make it clear to me that this is over and above compliance. He doesn't do that. He sticks to his guns as per 148 that I want you to check compliance for me. I also stick to my guns that I can't check for you. But I see the persistent nature. I then realize, because I've been in this field for some time, I realize that I'm suspecting, maybe let me be very careful in the words that I use, I'm suspecting in my own assessment due to the persistence of the nature of these messages that this is now him wanting me to go over and above compliance. He wanted me to go over and above compliance in terms of this matter. Whether it's checking whether they've made it to the next stage or whatever, I don't know, Chair. I don't want to speculate on that, but that I did realize that it was over and above compliance. But in all fairness as well, it doesn't expressly say that. So I can't jump the gun and start conflict where there shouldn't be. So what I decide to do is stick to the initial narrative as per our discussion 148. And the initial discussion was, please check compliance. He pretends like he doesn't know that I said he doesn't. I will also pretend like I will check for you. This is leading me to 177. Was it the smartest approach in dealing with the matter and taking the easier route at this stage in this forum? No, it was not. But that was my understanding at this stage, Chair. Secondly, I was not cooperating with him, Commissioner. I was not cooperating with him. I could not cooperate with him. There was nothing I could do to check any compliance or to interfere in the process. I also did not do anything to suggest with the objective evidence that we are looking at, Chair, that I interfered in this process. I'm explaining the context of that, taking into account the sequence of events from that point in time. So I respectfully, Chair, don't agree with the notion that I was intentionally cooperating. He was playing like a fool. I also played like a fool. Was it the smartest strategy to use to get out this conundrum? It wasn't. Did it assist me in the long run? It did, Chair. Not a single time from here moving forward does he ever ask me about this. So me sitting here, he either understands on his side when he reads this that yes, this guy's really going to help me, or he says, this guy's playing me for a fool, and he leaves the matter. I don't know. But that's my version of events.
Mr. Chaskalson?
No, there are two things, sorry, Mr. Chaskalson. Chair asked you a question, where in the text does Sergeant Nkosi ask you to check compliance? And you have not responded to that. So can you please show Chair where in the text does he ask you to check compliance? And then my question was, you create the impression that it is Sergeant Nkosi who's initiating these discussions. But if you look at 157, it is you who's making multiple calls to him before he sends you that list. It's very early in the morning. It's almost like the first thing you do when you wake up. You make several phone calls to him. And after the third phone call, he then sends you the list, which goes to Chair's point that you requested this and he sent it to you. But now when you respond, you act as if he's the one who's harassing you and persistently sending you this text. But almost every single one of them is preceded by a phone call between you and him, during which phone call you could have easily clarified and said, stop sending me this, there's nothing I can do about this. So please respond to Chair's question first. Where in the text does Sergeant Nkosi ask you to check for compliance? And then secondly, deal with my issue that in every instance, he's not harassing you. You've actually called him, and immediately after the phone call, he sends you the list. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Khumalo. I think firstly, I referred the Commission to 148 and 149. And this is the start of these discussions. Terms of requesting or modes of communication that are in front of us is two ways. The first mode of communication would be via a telephonic phone call. A second mode of communication would be via an SMS. In this instance, I did say to the Commissioner, to the Chair, as well as yourself, Commissioner Khumalo, that the phone call on 149 that took place at 3:26 is when we had a discussion clarifying the above. We'll go back to 148. On 148, he sends me the list of those entities and two other messages from there. I don't respond to him. He calls me once. Clearly, I don't pick up because I see he says Mfwetu, and he calls me a third time. That, for me, from my recollection or what would normally happen is I probably didn't answer because I was busy with something. I then call him back.
Sorry, Mr. Mnisis, just before you go too far so that I understand you. You refer us to page 149
Yes.
and 126. What do you say is the relationship between 149 and what you're discussing at 148?
Yes. So on 148, he sends me the list of the companies.
Yes,
At 149, we have a discussion on that.
yes.
This is where we have a discussion, and this is where he clarifies to me that he wants me to assist in checking compliance. So the mode of communication might not have been in writing, but there was a telephonic phone call, from my recollection, where he explained why he's sending me the list of these companies.
So let's keep this short then. There is no text or WhatsApp where he says to you in writing, please check compliance.
Yes, and I didn't say there was a text, Commissioner
No,
Kumar.
that's why I wanted to clarify. I'm asking the question so that we are on the same page. There is no text where he says to you, please check compliance. Yes or no?
Commissioner,
Yes or no, Mr. Mnisi? There is no text, yes, or there is.
Commissioner, please allow me to express myself because I need to explain to the Commission. I need to explain what happened. And I'm explaining to the Commission that there are two modes of communication.
Are we going to get to the other mode? For now, I'm asking about the text. That's why if you answer the question, we can move to another mode, and I will allow you. To be fair to you, I'm going to give you a chance to talk about the phone calls. So let's deal with the issue of the text first. There is no text where Sergeant Nkosi asks you to check compliance.
Yes, Commissioner,
Yes,
I
now
did say that. There's no text.
Yes, now deal with your other mode that you wanted
I've
to deal with.
explained to the Commission that the second mode was a phone call, which happened on page 149, where he explains to me why he's sending me those companies. And this is where the issue of compliance comes on board.
Yes. Now, the other issue was, even on 148, before he sends you a list of companies, there's a phone call from you to him. And it continues on 154, it's the same story. 177 is the same story. It's not as if out of the blue he sends you things. There's a phone call you initiate that precedes this text that he sends to you about the companies. Just look at 148, for example. Immediately before the list of companies, there is a call from you to him. Do you see that?
Chair, indeed. Me and this guy used to speak all the time, and it's evident from the chats. There are more than, I think, 390 chats. He was my friend. It's the honest truth. But that phone call that you are referring to has no relation whatsoever to that message that's there. That message that's there is sent about 30 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, down the line. And I'm trying to explain to you that what relates to this message, the preceding phone call on 149, where he explains to me what he's looking for.
It seems to me that it flows that the discussion was about you sending me the list. That's why the next thing I would do is send you the list. Because if it's a completely different discussion, I would introduce that discussion and say, oh, by the way, there's this other issue. But if all I do is send you a list of names following the discussion on the phone, then those two things are linked. It's human nature, Mr. Mnisi. We are all human beings. We use telephones. That's how human beings communicate with each other. It's not rocket science.
Commissioner, I want to disagree with you that respectfully, and my reason for disagreeing is that Sergeant Kose and I engaged in a number of matters, and some of those engagements was as a result of the friendship relationship that we had developed over time. Hence, would have a number of discussions, and it was not linked to this. On this matter, Chair, I'm trying to present the sequence of events and what really occurred from the best of my recollection. From the best of my recollection, I would never and I would not induce him to send me a list of companies to break the law. I would never do that, Chair, and I did not do that.
I just want to go back to an answer that you gave to the chairperson in a previous question that he asked you. And I want to suggest that you are untruthful in your answer. At 177, that text where you are asked in order of priority, 177, where you're given that list of companies in order of priority, the chairperson asked you who is Mfowe to refer to in that text. And you answered, I don't know. And I want to suggest or put to you that you are untruthful with that answer because you acknowledge this message as being sent to you to check for compliance in order of priority. You accept that this is communicating to you to check in order of priority. So that Mfowe today is the person that is going on your version to check in order of priority. So you are untruthful, or you were untruthful in your answer to the chair when you say, I don't know who is Mfowe to here. A further reason I say you're untruthful about it is that your constant or repetitive way of communicating with Sergeant Kosi is you refer to him and he refers to you as Mfowe to. That's what these texts that we have discussed so far indicate. But more importantly for me, at 177, if you acknowledge, as you have done, that text to have been directed at you to check compliance in order of priority, you are the Mfowe to that's going to be doing that checking, because that's what that text says. Do you want to comment?
Yes, please, Honorable Commissioner. I would love to comment. Yes, on a number of occasions, myself and Sergeant Kosi, I refer to him as Mfowe. He refers to me as the same. So, Chair, I was not untruthful when I say in the context of this message was sent to me. So I understood that it is directed at me. It is directed at me. It is sent to me. So what I understood with this question when I was answering for the chairperson was that I needed to, he asked me, what was this message sent to you? What was the importance of that firstly? I said, they wanted me to check compliance. He wanted me to check compliance in the order of this priority, the entities that have been listed here. He said to me, to be given to whom for it. See, the context on how this has been crafted as well, I'm not sure. What I can assure the committee is that this message is referred to me because it is sent to me. So when I read this message, I was of the understanding that it's sent to me and it was for me to address.
Yes.
I was not truthful. Maybe I didn't understand what the chairperson was saying.
Okay, but you accept that the Mfowe to refer to in this text, it has to be you.
Chair, what I want to accept is that myself and Sergeant Kosi call each other Mfowe.
No, that's not my question, Mr. Minister. Don't formulate your question and then answer it. That's not what I've asked you. It's not helpful for our engagement. I've asked you a question, answer my question. My question is, do you accept, therefore, given your explanation, do you accept that the Mfowe to referred to in this text is in fact you? Contrary to what you said to the chair earlier. Earlier you said to the chair, I don't know who this is, right? And I've demonstrated to you why this must be you. And I've concluded by saying you are being untruthful. And you went on to say, well, I didn't understand the question, and that's why I say, so you do accept that the way to refer to in this text is you. You either say, I don't accept, or I do accept, and then we can move on.
Chairperson, I did accept that.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Chaskalson?